My next guest is a lockdown DB from Corona, California, i.e., please welcome Will Nimmo. This video is sponsored by Aztec Link and their official content branch, the We Believe Network. The We Believe Network is a subscription-based platform that allows viewers to get access to exclusive Aztec content. That money is then reinvested back into the program to create NIL opportunities for the athletes themselves. Enjoy the video. Today I took some of my own linemen to Windmill Farms to get some sandwiches from their deli. We started off by getting our sheets and each customizing our own personal sandwich. We then each got some free samples from the deli, and me and Briley ended up getting some seafood salad. After that, we all picked out our favorite chips and drink and brought them up to the front to check out. We all used our punch cards so we could get closer to getting another free sandwich on our next visit. We then sat outside and all the boys ate it and gave their breakdown of how they liked it. Check this bad boy out. Looks insane. What we have here.
Looking great. Cross section on the flat press.
Yeah.
So good.
It's good.
With so many different combinations of good sandwiches to make, I can't wait to come back and try a new one soon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thanks
for having me on, man.
Of course, bro. Wildcat Will, man. That's the Instagram. Where did that nickname come from, bro?
Yes, sir. So, youth football, when I was growing up, the Wildcat formation, when the running back is the quarterback. I used to play running back all of my youth career. So I got to high school, and that's where I scored my most points. I was most productive there. And, my first name's William, so it just kind of stuck. So my coach just called me Wildcat, and then that was just kind of my nickname. And then also I have like ADHD, so I'm kind of rambunctious. So that's for the Wildcat, just kind of like my inner nature.
Fit you. Yeah. That's perfect, man. We might need to have a little install meeting with Coach so we can get you back in the backfield, man.
I miss that. I miss playing offense, man.
That's cool. So you play a little offense growing up. You play any other sports too coming up?
So, yeah, I played hockey, baseball. I ain't really played basketball too many years, but mostly hockey.
Who got you into hockey? Because I know that's kind of a niche sport, especially in Southern California.
Yeah, my two cousins played ice hockey. Mm-hmm. They live in Chino Hills. So I don't know if you know about the rinks.
The rinks are in Chino, right?
Where we live. Mm-hmm. So they did roller hockey there. That's kind of where I got started. And then, I looked up to them when they played hockey. So that's something I got into, see if I liked it.
Gotcha. Can you still skate pretty good, or
of course.
You lose it? You still got it?
Yeah.
Hey, man, that's cool. Yeah. I went to one of the SDSU hockey games probably like a couple months ago or something, but it's not like a super big venue, so everybody's like right up on the glass, and those are fun.
Where do they play at? I didn't even know we had a team.
It's a club team. I forget the name of the rink, but maybe I'll see if I can look it up and drop it in the video. But
it's roller ice?
No, it's on ice, yeah. Yeah, those are cool. And we were all standing behind the other team's goal. I think we're playing Colorado. And we had like a little student section standing right behind the other team's goalie. Just if he gave up a goal, we were talking trash to him. It was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, bro. So we're both from the IE, man. I wanted to ask, what young Will was like growing up in SoCal. What was your family like, and who really got you into sports?
Yes. I would say I always had big cousins. They were mentors. They kind of brought me up. My parents didn't really play sports. They were kind of into academics. So I would say my big cousins. I was always just involved with sports, so I could just like stay out of trouble, and it was something I excelled at. And I played sports year round, and just kind of traveling, through Southern California, because it's competitive with football. You're playing 7-on-7 tournaments. You have to buy this different gear. You're trying to play for the best team. So around kind of 6th, 7th grade, I kind of like honed in on one sport, and that was football ultimately, and that's something I wanted to run with. And then that's what got me here.
Who was your youth team growing up?
So I played for a couple of youth teams. I played for the Inglewood Jets. I played in Cypress for a little bit.
You ever played for the Ducks?
No,
I know they have a big modern day connection.
Yeah, I never played for the IU Ducks. I didn't move to Corona until like 8th grade.
Gotcha.
So right when I went to high school.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I played for them. I think when I was like 9 was my first season, and we started the spread with the wristbands, but we were killing teams because
y'all had the best. That and the Corona Panthers, I think.
Yeah, we never played against them, but I remember them. But I remember it was all colors. My dad made the wristbands. Shout out to my dad for coaching. And they're all color coded, so it had like the little key on the side. It was like, if your guy's red, you got the slant. If he's blue, he's got the fade or whatever. So I just look out there, and all the receivers just had their card, just said run a slant or run and go. So he would just call. He'd be like, "Hey, play forward." We looked down there. We were going fast. It was fun, man.
Did you play with anybody that you played with, like in high school or like that was
Um,
on your team?
well, I played with Elijah Rodriguez, who I
Okay,
know you played with at UCLA. Yeah,
Yeah.
so he played with me starting when we were 9, and then we were on the same team pretty much every year all the way through senior year of high school.
Okay.
I'm trying to think
Cool.
of guys we played against. I had a bunch of guys from Santan play on that team too. But yeah, that was definitely good. A fun experience.
Inland Empire has the best football talent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So when did you decide? I know you went to Modern Day for high school. When did you decide that was kind of going to be the best fit for you?
I would say like 8th grade. When I wouldn't say getting recruited, but you're trying to figure out where you want to go. We played 7-on-7 tournaments, and I played for Modern Day 7-on-7 tournament. And I was kind of like the coaching, the competitive nature, and just the ceiling. Like they put out a lot of D1 talent, and it's kind of a factory. So I would say that's where it started. And then talked to Bruce Rollinson, and he wanted me to come through. So that was
Awesome,
that.
man.
Yeah.
Speaking of Coach Rollinson, man, I wanted to ask you got any good stories about him specifically for their? I know you get some pretty legendary pregame or postgame speeches. You got
Yeah.
anything that rings a bell from that?
He's just like an intense guy, man. It was more than football for him. It was a brotherhood. He was a big Art of War guy. I don't know if you've heard of that
Yeah,
book.
the book. Yeah.
So our pregame speeches used to be his pregame speeches 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes long, and he was just pretty much saying like going to war for your brother. I can't say everything on the interview, but just going to war for your brother, and that's like it's a bloodbath. They're gonna win some, you're gonna win some. In the end, now you have to have each other's backs and go wall to wall for everybody.
Yeah, man. I remember my senior year of high school. We played Modern Day first game of playoffs, and I think at halftime we were either tied or we were down by like 3, and we were hyped just to be just to be tied or close at half, because we were big underdogs, and our locker rooms bordered each other. I remember just hearing him screaming his head off at the guys,
Yeah.
and then they came out. I think we probably got like 3 or 4 first downs rest of the game. Like he definitely got
It was effective.
got them going.
It was effective.
100%,
It was
man.
like he was good at putting out those emotions. I will say that. Like some head coaches are more like intellectual, X's and O's. Others are good at just really being like leaders, like mentors. So
Yeah.
that was his main thing.
Nice, man. I wanted to ask, what was your schedule like when you're at Modern Day? Because I know some kids have like a traditional where you go every single day and you have your set hours. But I know others, they just like some online options and stuff like that. What was it like whenever you were there?
So we'd come in at like 7:15 for lift. It was kind of like a college schedule.
Okay.
So 7:15 for lift, then we shower, everything, go to class. From about 9 to like 2 was class. Then you have lunch around 12. Then after that was film, and then we'd go on the field for practice. Then we'd go home. So really kind of like a schedule, college schedule.
Yeah, like fall camp kind of.
Yeah, we didn't really have too many online options. So my senior year, it was a little bit different for me because I early enrolled at UCLA.
Yeah.
So I had to take something crazy like 14 classes, 15 classes from like September to December.
Yeah.
So at lunch, I kind of really didn't have a lunch. I was doing extra classes and accelerated versions of the courses, but it was a regular school.
If you haven't heard of it before, I did the early enroll too. So basically, your second semester of high school, instead of doing your second semester of high school, you early enroll into college and start in spring ball. So you could go through all the spring camp with them. So in order to do it, you got to take extra classes, either online or in person, your first semester of your senior year. But I feel like for me personally, it was a huge help just learning the plays and getting comfortable with the team and everything earlier than everyone else in my class.
Yeah.
And then also I think my class had 3 early enrollees, and then the rest of my class came, there was like 20 of them. So it was a lot easier for everyone to get to know me in a group of 3 rather than a group of 20 or 23. So I feel like I got in with some of the upperclassmen too a little bit earlier. Did you kind of have a similar experience with it?
I would just like highly recommend it because this day and age, college football is getting a lot more advanced, the transfer portal and everything, and it just kind of like helps your chances coming in early,
100%.
Especially if you want to do something your first year, whether that's special teams or starting a full season. Like early enrolling is the thing. anything to do.
I
Just
like that,
develops your
man.
body.
For sure. I want to hear about some of you guys' rivalry games, man. So who was your biggest rival? Was it Bosco or Servite? Who did you guys have the most beef with?
All time is Servite, but you know the new day and age it was St. John Bosco versus
Gotcha.
modern day. Just the competition. Servite wasn't as tough. It was kind of like always like blowouts. So
Whenever you were playing there?
yeah. So St. John Bosco, they had one CIF. I want to say 2 or 3 years in a row before we started having our streak. So there's a lot of bad blood there. And then a lot of their players kind of went on to go to USC. And a couple of us went on to go to UCLA. So that continued.
Kept the beef alive.
Yeah.
Who was DJ the quarterback there?
Yes, DJ.
Okay. DJ versus Bryce Young, man.
Yeah.
Some legendary games.
Yeah.
Did what was your record versus them, man? You guys beat them? How many times?
I only lost to Bosco once. But while I was playing my whole time there, I probably lost them twice. But
while you were starting?
Yeah, that's when we were on a streak.
Okay, you guys held it down then, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, okay, I wanted to ask what your recruiting journey was like. Because I see like on TV whenever Modern Day and Bosco and those teams are playing, they'll show the offers list. And it's like you guys got your backups and third strings got offers just because the talent level is so high. What was your recruiting process like? And I know obviously you went to UCLA at a high school, but what other schools did you take visits to or kind of look at when you're coming out?
Right. So I ended up having, I want to say 18 or 19 offers at the end of the day.
Nice.
Before I committed. At Modern Day, it was a little bit different. Just like in college, like when it's fall camp, spring ball, there's NFL scouts coming, checking out the local talent.
So you had NFL scouts at your
No. I'm just saying, like here, there's NFL scouts.
But at your high school, it was college scouts.
It was college scouts.
Gotcha, okay.
So
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. We have like player ran practices from January to like when spring ball was starting high school. And there used to be 20, 30 like college recruiters out there just watching us
at the player ran ones?
At the player ran ones.
Man, that's awesome.
Then of course in spring ball we'd have a showcase and it would be like 40, 50 college coaches. So that helped a lot because you were literally just sharpening your craft, you know, balling out, and they got to see what you do. So the recruiting wasn't too like stressful. Like some other people have to get recruiters or like go to all these camps. I probably only went to 1 or 2 camps. So that's how the recruiting process was. I was undecided going into my senior year.
Okay.
It was between Cal, UCLA, Washington State, those 3.
Some good options.
For me, I kind of narrowed it down just to like academics. You know, UCLA was kind of like a dream school. And like they say, it's a 40-year decision, not a 4-year decision. So I just kind of valued that.
And you're close to home, too.
You're close to home.
Gotcha.
And I had probably 3 modern day guys: Quentin Lake,
all going with you,
Chris Murray, Mike Martinez. So I had teammates there, so it was kind of like a no-brainer at the end of the day, just to get developed as a man. That was the biggest thing for me.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I got a couple buddies. Shout out to Elijah Rodriguez and Grant Gray, 2 of my high school receivers are now at UCLA. So I want to ask you, bro, you got any favorite food spots or things to do just in LA around the area?
Yeah. I would say it's close and it's free is the Getty. I don't know if you heard that, the Getty Museum.
Is that like the food court? What's the Getty?
It's like a huge like museum like on a hill. It's probably like 5 to 10 minutes from UCLA. It's free. It's amazing views. If you have a hot date you want to take there, you just go and relax. I would say the Getty Museum. Food spots. I would say Bossa Nova is pretty good. It's like a Brazilian cuisine.
Ooh, okay.
Bossa Nova is good. The pasta's there.
I was gonna say, what is Brazilian food? Like, what kind of, you said pasta?
It was just, they have like pasta, like, you know, steak, chicken, regular, but they're like the spices and the way they cook it's a little bit different. And then I'll say lastly, probably the beaches. You can't beat like the Santa Monica culture. There's a lot going on, and the historic like boardwalk. You know, they have roller coasters and everything, so that's pretty fun.
That's cool. Have you been able to check out a lot of the San Diego spots, or not?
I actually haven't.
Spring ball.
Yeah, I actually haven't. Now that I got up here, got comfortable, you know, my teammates, the environment, the playbook, I'll probably go check out like Del Mar, like Encinitas. I've only been to Mission Beach like once. Kind of stayed around campus, but I hear San Diego has the best beaches, so I want to check it out.
Go check it out. Awesome, man. Getting back into the football stuff, I want to ask, what are some things about the safety position that most people don't realize, makes it unique.
Yes. I would say really, besides corner, like safety, you have to be clutch. Like you're the last line of defense.
Yeah, that's true.
The linebackers can be aggressive. D-line, they can kind of just be emotional, like shoot their shot. But at safety, you kind of have to be like calculated risk. You got to take calculated risks. Your last line of defense, so you have to make all your tackles. Sometimes you have to know when to hit the ball down, when to intercept it, like based on the down and distance and the game scenario. And then you have to communicate with the rest of the field.
Yeah.
Some teams are hand signals, some signal the play a different way. But if the one side of the field doesn't get the play call, they blame it on you. They're not blaming it on the linebackers or D-line.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, you caused this X play because they didn't communicate.
That's the same for quarterback. If I got a receiver lined up on the wrong side, hey, get your people set. Like, it's on you.
Yes.
So, yeah, I know what you mean.
You got to take accountability of that.
I know you probably played in some pretty crazy environments through high school and your college career so far. So, do you have any good stories as far as just crazy environments with fans or just games that you went off in your career so far?
Yeah. First, because I was like a young baller, I would say IMG.
Okay.
That was kind of crazy because, they had some of the best recruits in the nation, and it was the first ever matchup between Mater Dei and IMG. And it went down to the wire. I think it was 24-27. I probably had 8 tackles that game, like two PBUs. There was like an article out that came out after that said I was like the best DB in that game.
Let's go.
Because we had a lot of good DBs.
Kick the recruiting up a notch.
We got a lot of good DBs on our team, but I just happened to have the better game.
Good,
so I would say that like it was sold out. There were people on the hill like watching it. Like on
did
the
you play
fence.
them out here or did you guys meet them out there?
It was at Santa Ana.
Okay, yeah, your home stadium.
Yeah. So it was packed out, like a lot of hype all week. And I would probably say college. The Colorado game was kind of crazy just because the whole like Dion effect, and he was in LA. A lot of celebrities out there. The crowd was rocking, and the Rose Bowl is like a huge stadium, so we kind of like almost like packed it out, and it was a big game. Got to play against our current head coach, Coach Lewis.
That's right.
Had a pretty big TFL in that game when it was close, so it was a fun environment, most definitely.
That's awesome, man. Those are super cool. I want to ask you, now that we're in off-season mode, what is your off-season workout schedule like?
Yeah, I would say you just got to get work every day, whether that's like mobility, field work, lifting weights. You have to be doing something just to get better because you know what the saying is, like somebody else will pass you up. Somebody's doing more work if you're not putting in the work. I would say I try to stay in shape as much as possible, but also when you're getting older, you kind of have to focus on your field work, catching the ball, and taking care of your body. Like weights and everything is cool, but I kind of more focus on like my skill, and watching the playbook. Cause those small things are set you apart. Everybody's big, strong, and fast. Every program around the nation has the same set lifting card. Might be a little bit different, but
give or take, but there's still everybody's lifting, everybody's running. Yeah, you gotta set yourself.
But if you're
apart.
developing your skill and taking care of your body, that's what's gonna set you up. So I would say I try to focus on that.
Gotcha. Do you have a certain amount of time? I know I talked to Greg Camarillo, who's our academic advisor, but he played in the league for a couple of years, and he said after the NFL season, he had a 2-week no sweat rule, so he wouldn't do anything that made him sweat. He said he might go do some curls or hit some bench, maybe go for a little jog, but nothing like too serious. Do you give yourself like a certain set time off after fall season, or do you go straight into off season mode?
Man, most definitely, because when it's time to come back in the summer and hit it hard, you have to mentally like be there and reset. So you can't just grind. It's all about like kind of finesse nowadays. So this past week when we got done with the spring game, I probably didn't work. I did yoga every day, did like hot tub, cold tub, and then like a light treadmill at a slow pace for like a mile just to keep the blood going. But besides that, no, I had to let my body rest. I try to just work on my flexibility, really.
Good, man. Yeah, and then for me, for quarterbacks, I kind of do the same thing. Like after spring ball, I think I gave my arm maybe like a week off of no throwing, and then now I'll go like twice a week to start for the next couple of weeks, and then 3 times, and then by
Yeah.
fall camp,
Ramp
you're
it up
throwing every
slowly.
single day. Yeah, because if you try to jump into fall camp as a quarterback and you've only been throwing twice a week, like you're gonna be arms gonna be hanging. So yeah, kind of like you said, easing back into it, and then by the summertime, hitting it full speed.
And as you know, like as we get older, it's more about balance, like you said. Like I know
Mhm.
you've noticed that in your own career.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
got to balance everything.
I want to see outside of football, man. What are some of your hobbies off the field like? What do you like to do?
I'm really into fashion. Like playing video games. I would say just trying like new food spots. Like I'm really into different cuisines and everything.
I'm curious about the fashion because I've seen it, man. You always got something cool on. I don't even know how to pronounce it most of the time. But when did that start?
Yeah.
Was that something that came kind of with going to LA and being in that environment, or did you always kind of have that liking for it?
I would say I always kind of had a liking for it. Just some of my favorite artists I listened to. Chris Brown, just growing up, Trey Songz, like that. But definitely going to LA and just being around like certain players, and just like the LA culture kind of allowed me to adapt and adopt to what I really like. And there's just a lot better, like the malls, everything out there.
Mhm.
You have more to choose from. But I really just wear just kind of like what's simple and what's nice to me. Like I feel a lot of people try to do too much, as you see like NFL players or like NBA players walking in wearing all these
the crazy fits.
crazy fits. To me, I'm like a less is more guy.
Mhm.
And then I try to wear like neutral tones and everything. But yeah, I like fashion. It's just something, look good, feel good, play good.
I like that, man. And then I know you talk about food spots. We were talking about cooking before this. Are you Chef Will officially? You just getting into it, man? You like to get down in the kitchen?
I'm just getting into it. I
Okay.
can really only cook from like a recipe.
All right.
Shout out HelloFresh.
There we go.
That's pretty much the only thing I could do right now. But I'm trying to learn, and I have more free time.
I like it, man.
Yeah.
Last question I have for you, bro. Who was your role model growing up, and who did you kind of model your game after? So it could be different players, but that's what I was curious about.
I would say before high school for sure, Tyrann Mathieu.
Okay,
That's
Honey
why
Badger.
Honey Badger.
Yeah.
That's why I wore 32 at Mater Dei and then at UCLA. Just his playing style, like his attitude. Football, you can't really think; you just have to react, and that's kind of what slows people down. They're constantly in their mind. That's what film is for. You really just have to go out there and give it your all. Because if you blink,
yeah, especially at safety, he's by you.
at safety, it's over with. And even when I talk to some of my friends that are in the NFL and how they got used to it their first year, they would say like if you blink or you think, like it's over with. The speed of the game's too fast. So I would say him. And then in college, Justin Simmons. I don't know if you know who that is. He's a safety for the Broncos.
Okay.
Number 31. I was kind of like how he plays the ball. He's kind of like a savvy safety. He doesn't take unnecessary like hits and everything like that. He's kind of picks the ball off PBU. So I like that.
Awesome, man. Yeah, and to close it out, I always ask guests just to give a little bit of words of wisdom to the young players that are watching this growing up, man. So what do you got for the guys who want to be William Nimmo growing up?
I'll say like it's cliche, but really just stay the course. You got to be consistent, and like discipline's a skill set. Accountability is a skill set. It's something you have to work on every day. And the path is set. Like you can achieve it, and if it's for you, it'll be for you. Just don't overcomplicate things. That's something that I kind of struggle with, like growing up, is just stressing over stuff. If you put the work in and just trust, like everything will work out. So I'll say that.
Awesome. Yeah, I would just say make the most of your off seasons. Like we already talked about, give yourself some time to be with family and rest and get your body back healthy. But then when it's time to work, like that's really where you can set yourself apart. And I know we both train. Shout out to Coach E and Winter Circle. Like that was our training spot growing up. And then now we have all the resources at the college level. But wherever you're at, get out, get active, and just make the most of your off seasons because it'll pay off. Man, I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you having me, man. It was a good conversation.
That was cool, bro. Thanks for tuning in. Want to give one more quick shout out to our sponsors, Aztec Link and the We Believe Network. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and check out the link in the description to get started today.